Alright guys, let's see what's happening with the price of Bitcoin. Yeah, that was this triangle here, actually like a triangular formation. We went above the trend line here, actually didn't break the previous high, and after that there was a huge dump below the triangle. So both shorters and people who went long, they got liquidated. So this is the regular way of Bitcoin acts. Pretty much for its like recent few years, and now the price is actually above this trend line, and as soon as it holds above there, it's still okay. It's still kind of a long entry in my opinion, but the short the stop order should be very tight below this trend line, or at least below this, because again this growth looks very suspicious. But the bullish scenario short term would be to make another high above this area, above $12,000, and as soon as the price will retest this this level after that and make another rise, like a small even rise, then it would be another nice entry for a long position. Technically, I must say that we are in the bull market. Well, at least locally we're in a bull market. The trend is bullish, so there is no reason to try to short it, trying to find this local high. Of course it's very tempting, but it's very dangerous at the same time. But the trend is rising, so we should prioritize long entries at that point. And although here it was not clear, like 100% clear, but after this breakout, this is another confirmation. But again, the higher we are going, the more likely that this is the end of the trend, because, well, trends cannot last forever, right? Of course we can refer to 2016, 17th, it was a very long bull market, but there is no guarantee whatsoever that the same situation is happening right now. Moreover, like on a daily time frame, you see this new high here, although the daily candle is not closed yet, but the high might be formed here if we will not see the green candle for the current day. But the high on RSI and some other indicators is lower. This high is lower, meaning that this is a bearish divergence. And for the bearish divergence on the daily time frame, it's very often that we might see the drop at that point. So this is another sign for being cautious regarding going long. Again, the stop loss should be very tight here. Another thing which I should point out regarding the general trend is this channel, or maybe it's a wedge, it depends how do you look at it, on RSI, and every time the indicator hits the trend line here, or the high, the resistance or support, you actually have the same for the local highs or local lows on the price. And this is actually, again, bullish trend for the whole area here. And currently this indicator value is in the middle of this channel, so technically we should expect either the case when it hits the lower area, the support line, or the resistance line, and both of those cases would be very nice entries for either long or short with a very nice stop order. Again, technically we went above this resistance, it became support. We actually almost touched it after this correction, and it was a very nice retest, and very fast price went higher and bought back after that flip. So it looks very bullish, but again, should be very careful with potential end of the local rising trend. And the thing which I was going to point out today is also the correlation of Bitcoin price with the traditional markets, for example with commodities like gold or silver. And if we look at those assets, then, well, silver is absolutely crazy right now, so the growth is totally exponential. And if you consider this low and this high is like 150% for the traditional market is huge, and it's actually like from the beginning of this year it's very fast. And there is a golden rule: every exponential growth ends with a huge correction. And yeah, it couldn't be an exception. Of course we may continue and extend this growth even more, but it should end at some point. Absolutely, there is no way it will last forever. Like here again, yeah, it might make another leg to the upside, but then we have the higher we go, the deeper and the longer bear period we have after that. And currently, again, on the weekly time frame, you see how overbought the indicator here is. So it should be at least some small correction. And this is silver. So for the gold, it's pretty much the same. Although we can look at the major picture and say that, okay, we actually had this massive growth here, we had this correction and this reaccumulation, and now we made another high. So with another high, it's very likely that we will continue to go higher with repetition of the whole growth of that area. So like something like $1,500 above that point. It's massive. Yeah, it could really happen. But again, locally, it's very overbought. And moreover, we could look at the TD sequential. For TD sequential, on the monthly time frame, we're at a green 8. It's very close to the green 9 setup for the sell, like it was here, for example. Here it was green 8. Also, we had this correction. Here it was green 9, and I actually got overextended with a 13 setup, and then we had this market. There was a red 9 here. After that, we started to grow. So it's pretty repeatable and reliable for the indicator working out. At the same time, for example, for this growth, we saw that there was a kind of a divergence, again, bearish divergence on RSI and some other indicators. So the high here is lower, the high here is higher. So this is bearish divergence. So far, although we are very high again on the RSI here, it's a potential point for the correction, but correction might be something like that. It might not be like a major one, and it would be nice if we'll see something like this setup again. So if we'll see this correction, make another high, but the RSI high will be lower, and that would be a perfect setup for the short entry. Although this is the same bull market for gold or for other commodities. I should also show you the bonds market with comparison with gold, and you see it's very oh, sorry, it's not the bonds market, so we should switch it here. So here is the bonds market, and the blue curve is gold. They are pretty much correlated, well, maybe with exception of this crisis in 2008. And what is happening here is that as soon as the treasury is kind of an asset which is more reliable than, let's say, stocks and so on, but the gold is also, well, it tends to be treated as a safer asset, less riskier asset, solid money and so on. So they are correlated as well. And you see the bonds market also is very high right now. And every time when we saw this massive spikes in this market, we had significant correction. So they all are aligned and confluent with each other. So it's very likely that we see something bearish happening pretty soon, like within a week or maybe a month. And then why I'm saying about that is that our Bitcoin, beloved Bitcoin, I don't think that it could hold and stay higher within this crisis period, while traditional commodities and safe haven assets are going down, at least maybe short term. But we might see this correction to the area at least $10,000, maybe even lower, maybe to the point of previous this zone of high volume trading around $9,000, $9,500. Yes, sure, as I say, this is the bullish market, so we could see another high, and prioritized trades are longs, but the higher we go, the more likely we'll see this drop. And also, I must say that this is pretty scary. 84 for Fear and Greed index on Bitcoin. It's an extreme greed situation. Usually we have a massive correction after that. If we look at the long-term history, we're actually approaching the ultimate high in summer 2019, when the index was something like 90 or 95. It was the peak at $14,000, and after that we had this massive drops and a long-term bear market. So it's pretty much of a nice correlation with price of local highs and lows. So this is alarming, guys. This is scary. So I hope that this kind of thing could help you out to sort out things in your head about the global directions of the price action of Bitcoin and the other markets as well. Hopefully it is helpful to some extent, and that is it for today, guys. I will keep you updated As usual, thank you for watching and see you next video. Goodbye.